I mean, the score tracker is not firing up. I caught, you know, a good one, you know, a good keeper and a short just a little bit ago, you know, throwing this crankbait on these, you know, on this shallow grass. So in this bright sunshine and no wind, I mean, that's exactly how it was at practice. It was just colder, and that's how I was getting bit up shallow. So I'm going to keep, you know, just try to keep myself in good water and hit as many of these places as I can. I just don't have anything else that I've got confidence in. You know, I'd like to go back and hit a couple of the other areas, but they've had boats on them every time. There's not good grass everywhere for sure, and you want to be in those little areas. And no doubt one of the huge factor for me is the Lake Master mapping. I've got the depth highlight set on 5 feet to show everything that's 5 foot or less in red. So a lot of these shallow bars and the top of them will be red, and then, you know, those little areas. And no doubt one of the huge factor for me is the Lake Master mapping. I've got the depth highlight set on 5 feet to show everything that's 5 foot or less in red. So a lot of these shallow bars and the top of them will be red, and then, you know, the contours are just so precise around it. And that's exactly where I'm catching them, is right where there's a little change in the contour where it typically steepens up a little bit. There'll be a short little stretch where there's a little deeper water that touches the edge of some of these little shallow bars and things like that. And that's exactly where I caught those two back to back, is there's one little spot where it's like the channel swings against it, where it's a little deeper, and that's where they were at. And the other bites I've had were the same type of deal. They were on some kind of transition that I could see on my Lake Master, either by an edge of a ditch or something like that. So that's what I'm really concentrating on, is keeping myself in those areas. And, you know, I'm kind of buzzing down all of it, but when I come to something that looks irregular on that map, I just slow down, and I'm always looking with the 360 too to follow that grass line. It's just a huge asset to be able to see those clumps out away from the boat. So if there's a thicker spot there, or there's a little bit of timber or brush or anything, I can see it and find it and throw to it. So right where I started, that was kind of the key. There's some timber and stuff there, and that's where I thought would be really good. I didn't end up catching any out of the timber, but they were in the grass right inside of it.